Hey everyone, so we got Edward and Alphonse Elric yesterday, and today, as per usual, we're going to look at their banner, at the unit themselves, and check out how good they are. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So the Elric brothers, henceforth called, they are a SR chain base, a limit or best used with Earth element, and in Brave Shift they are an LB finisher, and they are also a very versatile imbue and amplification bot for 4 elements. And you will see in the showcase, just very brief on the target dummy though, what their abilities can do, what's so special about them, and how to use them, and how their LB works, because their LB, it's not as quick and easy as last gen's LB, let me tell you that. So yeah, let's dive right in that, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so let's talk about the Elric brothers. I do have them on the global server, so yeah, instead of showcasing on the PowerPoint presentation, let's just go through the team or through the gearing. As you can see, I haven't leveled up their stuff yet entirely. Their kit is, we're starting in a Brave Shift, by the way, and the Brave Shift has a few cool things. So on the one hand, we've got the tag team attack. It's cool, nothing too really exciting. They got their ADX SR chain, which also imperils lightning by 120%, which is cool. They got a 100% LB damage boost. But the real kicker here are the equivalent exchanges: fire, water, lightning, earth. So they imperil themselves, fire, by 50%. However, they remove status effects, and the status effects that are removed are all other imbues other than the one we are imbuing right now. So this imbues fire, and in the same process, before it imbues fire, it removes all other imbues, meaning ice, lightning, water, wind, earth, light, and dark. And it also amplifies the damage, or the element. So meaning, since this is the fire exchange, we are amplifying 15% physical and magical fire damage for all allies. And this is also an all ally imbue. Same applies to the water stuff, same applies to the lightning stuff, and earth, obviously. Now another cool thing is that they innately can dual wield. They got the dual wield mastery, meaning 6x chain cap. And what I also like is the new principle stuff. This one I actually had to ask on the Discord, FFBE Discord, how this works is, and it states boosts damage limit for caster chain by 100%. Meaning, if I understood correctly, the Elric brothers, they immediately start at 100% chain damage. So what this means is, usually when you chain, so let's have Roy Mustang as a bad example, partial transformation, and disabling stab, right? So on the top right, you have that chain counter over here. It starts going to 100, etc, etc. Now with the Elric brothers, since they have that passive, they immediately start at 100%, even though this one doesn't state this. But as you can see, this caps at 200, which is a weird glitch because it shouldn't. Don't get confused by this. Just because it caps at 200 doesn't mean it's 2x damage modifier. It is still the 300. The game just bugs out for some reason because it forgets that there is a 100 increase in chains. So that is one of the cool things with the Elric brothers. You get the chain to the max chaining score a little bit quicker, significantly quicker even with imbues. So yeah, other than that, they also have 200% Demon Killer innately and 150 LB damage, which is, whew, it's good, it's good. And yeah, the LB damage, it's a 145x modifier. It's really good. It's really good. So let's guard the rest of these. And let's switch over to the base form. The LB in base form is attack. Has 30 hits, 70% damage reduction for all allies, which could be cool for, I don't know what, it might be cool on a trial such as Ashura. I'm gonna tackle that trial with Elric anyway soon enough, so yeah, that's a cool one. And other than that, they have Earth Spear Transmutation. I haven't quite leveled it up. As you can see, it's a 130 in peril. That is the kicker here. It also has a very high modifier at the end of the day too. So yeah. What's also cool is about Soul Transmutation. It is a 50% Earth Elemental Imbue, not Imbue, but Elemental Amplification, while also buffing attack and magic by 300% to all allies for 4 turns. And it also gives them another ability, Get Up You Novice, which buffs LB damage by 200% on the next turn. So let's use that. Let's guard the rest of the team. Keep in mind this also damages him, so make sure you have enough HP. And now we can boost this LB damage. Oops, I really attacked. And on turn 3, you would then LB with the Elric brothers. I'm gonna just use attack, or apparently not. So let's just, their abilities are super expensive. I'm just realizing this right now. Let's use Disabling Stab. And SR. And let's have the Elric brothers finish this off. Okay, so their LB takes quite a while to unwind, it seems. It's a little bit unexpected to me as well. That took really long to unwind, I'm not gonna lie. Let's repeat, and I guess we'll send them right in. Yeah, that looks more like it. So the Elric brothers, they hit hard, as you can see, 7.2 billion. But again, like I said I haven't said that yet. But as you will see, they hit hard compared to say last gen and the likes, but they pale in comparison to the Dragoons. But yeah, that's it for the Elric brothers. Now let me just very briefly touch upon Roy Mustang, because he's pretty good too. So Roy Mustang is the Regina equivalent of mages, so to speak. So he's another Delta Sakura, so to speak. So you got this spell here, which is very strong, 30% fire amp for himself, fills 25% of his LB gauge, increases combustion, etc. This one is another one for combustion. It's all fun and games. Let me just quickly check. And combustion boosts LB damage, but he has an LB cooldown somewhere down here. I forgot where it is though. Where was it? Turn to Ash, wasn't it that? Nope. He has a 200% LB buff, I'm very sure. Maybe it was in his Brave Shift then. So it's Brave Shift Roy Mustang. And let's check out the Brave Shift. I haven't, because I'm not covering, yeah, it's over here. So yeah, it's a 130 in peril, 200% LB boost, which is pretty sweet. So I'm not covering NVA units anymore, so that's why I didn't really bother checking Roy Mustang, but this is how you use him. You fill up his LB, you then press the button to imperil and do damage. and then you fire it off. So let's tag chain with the Elric brothers just to show off. Okay. Roy's LB also takes a while to unload up. Apparently. It's good to know. It's good to know. For Dark Visions in 2 weeks, because I'm probably gonna use him on the Fire Water stage, the very final one that is. But that's it, so much for the showcase of mainly the Elric brothers, and let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, there will be more coming with actual usage of the Elric brothers, either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. We'll see. So let's check out the Trustmaster and Super Trustmaster. The Trustmaster is a material with 75% Demon Killer, only physical though, and 30% attack if the wearer is using a fist. So the material in itself is very strong, but it's outclassed by 3 materia we've got 2 weeks ago, Supreme Victor that is. It has 75% human and demon killer. It doesn't have any attack stat attached to it, but 75% human and demon killer is just too good. And it's way better than the Elric brothers TMR. So yeah, that's a little bit of sad. I feel like this TMR was released, or the unit themselves was released a little bit too late for the meta, but it's still nonetheless 75% demon killer. It's great. So don't sweat it, it's still a great materia. And the fist attachment, well, yeah, it's bad, but Tifa is coming rather soon-ish, maybe 2 months from now, and she'll love that, whenever she's fighting demons, that is. The Super Trustmaster is an accessory with 45 attack and spirit alike. I find the spirit very weird, to be honest. And yeah, the accessory also increases fire, lightning, water, and earth resistance by 50%. And what I forgot to include is that the accessory also reduces magic points used by 50% for the Elric brothers only. So I forgot, for whatever reason I didn't include this on the slide, but yeah, 50% MP reduction for the Elric brothers only too, which they kind of want because all their spells are super expensive and they don't have a huge mana pool, but you can live without it, I believe. It's great for elemental Tetris in Dark Visions and Shards alike. Okay-ish attack stat, we've got better ones. Red 13's STMR comes to mind, or Zenada's STMR 2. And like I said, I find the SPR fairly questionable. So let's check out the vision card. Cool animation. I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. Maybe the FMA fans of you can tell me about it in the comments. But yeah, the vision card, 100 attack, base attack at level 10, 60 attack percent from 4 and 7 passives combined. And they also gain 50% LB damage on top of things. But here's the kicker, while this is a good card on paper, you will not use this card on the Elric brothers, because the global buffs, they gave the Elric brothers an additional 100% LB damage. So on the Japanese server, the LB brothers had 50% innate LB damage increase. On the global, we do have 150% LB damage. So half of it is already done, and if you're wearing double Ultima blade, which is should by the way, you are already 250%, meaning you only need a single 50% LB materia slot to get to 300. Now one might argue, ditch the 10 additional base attack and go for the vision card. That's a good idea, but math tells me, or the builder tells me, that going for the 110 attack base card is the better option. So I'll take that for face value. So yeah, at the end of days, it's a cool card, it's good, but it's not good enough. So sad to say. If it were 100% LB damage, then it'd be great. It'd be best in slot, but other than that, nope, Sadly no. So let's get down to the math side of things. The assumptions, they are always the same. We are using a 90% defense break. Now I know not the 90% defense break might not always be applicable, especially when it comes to final bosses in Dark Visions, where you have to juggle around your breaks, and most of the time you're probably using an 85% break. But trust me on this, for a damage comparison, it doesn't matter whether you're using a 10% break or a 90% break, because all units are affected by this in equal amounts. No unit has any advantage over the other when you change from a 90% break to a 85% break, for example. There's no difference, holding all other things constant. As long as you don't change anything regarding the gearing, the damage increase from 85 to 90% is an 8.33%, assuming the boss has 22.5k defense and 50% passive defense. That way it's an 8.33 increase for every single unit, so you don't miss out on anything, to be honest. As per usual, we are assuming 300% attack buff. We are assuming 300% killers with no additional killer buffs, because they scale equally for everyone else, so there's no point. 104 total amp for Edgar, Arden, Last Gen and the Elric brothers, so you know already which units we are using. And 74% for Noctis, because Noctis halves his amps due to him being locked to light with his main ability, the Warp Strike that is. We are also using 130 Imperil or 125% for Noctis. And we're also using Sword Imperil and Spear Imperil, respectively. This is the gear we're looking at. So Arden wears exactly the same things as Noctis does, so I didn't include him. And well, Edgar, yeah, I forgot to include him on this list, but he's using best in slot stuff. I just showed him basically for comparisons to the Elric brothers. But what's cool about the Elric brothers is they are very easy to gear. Now, keep in mind, one thing I should note here is that I used the Japanese builder for this. And the Japanese builder, I had to gear them for more LB damage than I should have. But on the global server, it is entirely enough if you use the TMR and a 50% LB damage materia. That already gets you to 300 LB damage, so keep that in mind. Rest of it though is best in slot, so double Ultima Blade, Kingly Raiment, Hellebore, double Warlord Godlegs, that is best in slot for most of the cases. Depending on the boss type, you might want to change one Warlord Godlegs for maybe resistances or killers from Photon Core, for example. But most of the time, the equipment will stay the same. And you have 2 free materia slots, so on the global server, you don't want to actually use Lion's Heart or Courage to move on. You have 2 slots totally free for your liking, which is very cool about them. So yeah, that's the gear. You can check out Last Gen 2 for a second, but they are equally geared. We geared them towards Demon Killer, so everyone has 300% Demon Killer in this case. So yeah, let's check out the damage comparison. And yeah, the Dragoons, they are the best damage dealers still. What I find funny is that even Edgar at EX plus 3, this is all EX plus 3 by the way, still the out damages the Elric brothers. But this is, well, the upside of Dragoons, because Dragoons, keep that in mind, they have 800 jump damage increase, which the LB finishers, they can't keep up with that just yet. So yeah, but still, as you can see, the Elric brothers are very close to Edgar. It's only 100 million missing, and units such as Zidane, Hawkeye, Tifa, Avalanche Tifa, or Sephiroth, they reach crazy numbers on the LB modifiers after you're stacking them up, and that is the reason why the LB finishers, they will come back into the meta rather soonish, starting with Zidane, that is. But yeah, as you can see, the main damage comparison here should be actually last gen versus the Elric brothers. And the Elric brothers, they are a whopping 27.73% ahead of last gen on a win team. This comparison is even more obvious if you're using an Earth team, where the Elric brothers have 50% amplification versus a best case scenario for last gen, meaning 30% fire amplification. They are totally behind on that in that regard. So the Elric brothers, they are good. And another thing about the Elric brothers which stands out is their 600 static attack they gain from one of the passives. Because if you take away the passive, the 600 static attack, the Elric brothers are very, very close to last gen. So yeah, the saving grace here is actually the static attack they gained compared to last gen. Because both, at the end of the day, both have a 135x modifier LB. They are very close in base attack. The Elric brothers only have 2 base attack more than last gen, for example. So yeah, how do they fare in the meta? Like I said, 27.73% more damage than last gen, meaning the Elric brothers are the highest LB finisher, physical finisher in the game right now. They provide very unique imbues and amplifications at the same time, making them very versatile, which I personally like a lot. They are also very strong Earth finishers, should you ever use Earth element, because nobody is. We are still in the wind meta. But yeah, compared to the Dragoons, they are still miles behind, and they will remain so for the rest of the eternity. But for the Morales battles that we are about to get sometime soonish, they might be actually very good, depending on how this whole morale things actually works. Anyway, they provide a strong, albeit poke-crept Super Trustmaster, and their Super Trustmasters, it's very niche, but it might be very handy for Resistance Tetris in Dark Visions and Trials. So, should you pull? If you want a top tier LB finisher, go ahead. Same case if you are a fan of Full Metal Alchemist, that is. They'll get even stronger once Zidane releases, because Zidane's STMR increases the LB damage by everyone by 300%, so this also affects the Elric brothers, of course. They do provide some hefty sustained damage. I didn't touch upon the sustained damage much or at all, but they are also the highest physical sustained damage dealers in the game, if I'm not entirely mistaken. So whenever you need whenever you're facing a longer fight, such as Ashura Trial, for example, they are a very good pick, and thus making them a good investment all around. And just as a side note, Roy Mustang is also a great unit to go for on this banner. So if you're pulling essentially for 2 very, very good New Vision units, one being the New Vision Awakenable Royal Mustang, and the other one being the Elric brothers themselves. And that's it. We are already at the end of this unit review. I hope you liked it. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to join the Discord, and we'll see each other tomorrow for some older trials, mainly Behemoth and Ashura. So I hope you're looking forward to that. Have a nice Friday evening, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.